Okay, welcome motorsport fans to this week's Oceanic Sim Racing Fincar series at Interlagos, also known as Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace. This week, participants are racing in just one server together, which puts over 40 drivers together on the grid. This should provide for some exciting racing indeed. Some interesting entries at the rear of the field are John Latham and Marty Atkins. Normally some of our front runners who are actually starting at the rear, I can only assume because they missed qualifying. These guys have certainly got their work cut out for them as they make their way through the rear of the field today. This race consists of two 20-lap races, in which case participants must make at least one mandatory pit stop between laps 2 and 18 of either race. They only need to stop in one of the races and take on no less than 2 tyres. So they're allowed to take on 4 tyres if they so wish. They can take on fuel or not, but they must take at least 2 tyres when they make that mandatory pit stop in one of the races. Okay, while we're waiting for the drivers to grid up, we will read out the starting grid. In first position, we have John Emerson, followed by Brad Ryan, Lee Day, Michael Fabian, Matthew Nevercote, Richard Hampstead, Jason Black, Clayton Brooks, Henry King, Jared Filsell, Guy Leach, Stephen Collins Cooper, Dylan Shepherd, Ben Egan, Michael Yeo, Greg Sharp, Mark Anderson, Wayne Jaffa, Gavin Sadler, Michael Manley, Todd Valentine, Simon Black, George Fullerton, Mark Melcher, Zach Baker, Michael Fulcher, Craig Jones, Terry Marwood, Adam Stewart, Jake Ward, Nick Duncanson, Sandeep Banerjee, Brett Hender, Paul Rudd, Ralden Talva, Trevor Scott, Paul Maguire, Richard Byrne, Matt Nade, Nils Jordan, Rick Burt, Alan Shipway, Anthony Richards, Hayley Finlay, John Latham and Marty Atkins round out 46 drivers, folks. That is one hell of a large grid. Revs are rising. And they're off. 46 vehicles, folks. Brad Ryan gets a great start and goes straight out into first place with John Emerson in trail. I'm not sure why, but our driver comparison is showing Brad Ryan in second position. Hopefully that'll update very shortly. In fact, while we wait for the ticket to sort itself out, the driver comparison to sort itself out, we might just have a look at the replay of the start. Just looking at a replay of the start with John Latham, and the revs are rising. And John Latham off to an absolutely amazing start there. Before the first turn has made it through almost 10 cars. There's a small bump there with Ralden Telva, 4 wide into turn 2. Oh, a bit of a collision there with the cars behind John. 2 cars off there, Paul Maguire is one of them. another car gone off there, not sure who that is. Absolutely amazing start. Okay, now we're back live on board with Brad Ryan, who's leading John Emerson. I'm not quite sure exactly by how much. There we go. I think some of the drivers had lag, so there's actually a little bit of data missing. It may have even been the car that this replay was recorded with. John Emerson there leading Lee Day by the smallest of margins. I believe that's Michael Fabian behind Lee Day. Behind Michael Fabian is Matthew Nethercote doing an absolutely fantastic job. Behind Matthew Nethercote is Clayton Brooks. And behind Clayton Brooks, Jason Black. Looks like Matthew Nethercote's had a bit of a moment there. Jason Black taking advantage, going too wide with Matthew. Basically a drag race down the straight. Jason Black doesn't quite have enough speed on Matthew Nethercote, so relinquishes the position. I'm sure Jason Black smells a bit of blood there, so he's definitely going to try and put the pressure on to force a mistake. Coming up on some of the first of the lap cars there, Paul Maguire had a first lap incident, so he's definitely well off the pace now, no doubt with some damage. In the Oceanic Sim Racing Series, drivers are eligible. Oh, and Matthew Nethercote has gone off, ending his any chances of a considerable finish. And it looks like his motor's gone, he'll have to reset. We'll go back up front with our leaders. Oh, Brad Ryan getting very wide there on the grass, but not losing any time whatsoever by the looks of it. Absolutely amazing. Still no data there, folks. I'm really sorry about that. I think there was some internet connection issues during the recording of this replay. John Latham definitely having a look down the inside of Brad Ryan now. And just as I say that, it looks like our data has come back. As you can see, the time difference between the drivers is blinking on and off. I think the way the iRacing netcode works is that it sacrifices data that is not imperative for positioning of the other vehicles around you. So it's likely to drop timing data before it drops any other data. I believe that's just a guess, best guess. Now showing Brad Ryan in first position, as it should, with John Emerson in trail, just not telling us exactly by how much, but as you can see, it's about a car length, then about 5 car lengths behind John Emerson is Lee Day, about 1.1 seconds behind. Following Lee Day is Michael Fabian. Excuse me. Following Michael Fabian is Clayton Brooks. Oh no, hang on. That's not right. Clayton Brooks has definitely got past Michael Fabian. Oh, sorry, no, my apologies. That's Lee Day we're looking at there in front of Michael Fabian. And Clayton Brooks is a little ways back here. And we've got a lap car there blinking on and off. That is Todd Valentine, seemingly having some type of an internet connection issue. Jason Black looking to get past him as soon as possible. As Jason Black has Dylan Shepherd behind him. Todd Valentine not in any hurry to help with that. Hopefully he'll be able to tuck into the draft, and finally gets by Todd Valentine there, as does Dylan Shepherd. And Todd Valentine seems to have completely disappeared off the screen. Now, behind Dylan Shepherd is Jared Filsell. And in another little battle pack there, we've got a Fincar vehicle. So we've got Jared Filsell there of the V8 Supercar fan group, ANZ team, followed by Stephen Collins Cooper and Michael Yao. I really need to ask Michael how to pronounce his surname one day, so I stop getting stuck on it. There we have Mike Anderson leading another one of the Fincar vehicles, Simon Black. Simon Black there leading Michael Manley. Oh, Michael Manley getting extremely sideways there. Excuse me, I need to cough. Sorry about that, folks. Wayne Jaffa about to look like overtaking, but Michael Manley going in for his pit stop. Michael Fulcher all on his own there. We'll go back to Sandeep. Oh no, Sandeep's gone in. George, got me all confused there. There's John Latham. We were about to look at Sandeep. John Latham into 17th position, all the way back from 46th, which is absolutely amazing. Oh, sorry, 45th. I'm actually not sure if Marty Atkins took part in this race. He may have thought, well, I forgot to qualify, I'll just sit this one out. I'm not sure. We'll get to that in a moment, see if he's around. Brett Hender there trying to keep with John Latham, who I think John Latham may have a small amount of damage there. We'll just go to rear chase to see if we can see. Oh no, they've gone put us on Brad Ryan for some reason. We'll try and bring back John Latham. Yes, there we are. John Latham actually has a bit of damage there by the looks of it to his front right quarter. Most certainly got his work cut out for him. We'll go on the roof of John Latham's vehicle. On board with Zach Baker, who trails Brett Hender, back with John Latham there. Sorry about the confusion there that can happen as we go past the pits if there's any cars in the pits. John Latham losing a little bit of pace now, I think possibly because of that damage. I'm sure John Latham will be able to get well ahead of 16th position. John Latham is chasing down Sandeep. John Latham now driving for Team Tracy Lords, former LMR driver. Oh, we've got some smoke there coming out of pit lane. Someone's engine has bit the dust. John Latham well and truly hitting the rev limiter there to get the car slowed down into turn 1 and 2. Very difficult set of turns, turn 1 and 2. John Latham edging ever so close to each lap, a little closer to Sandeep. Might go on board with Sandeep. And we'll look back at John Latham now. Again, I'm really sorry we don't have the time difference data available, folks. There's something gone very wrong with the recording of the replay file. John Latham having Sandeep Banerjee well within his sights now. And will no doubt make a move as soon as he possibly can. Back on board with John Latham. Looking forward at Sandeep Banerjee. John Latham not quite having the speed to get alongside Sandeep. Sandeep runs a little wide into turn 2. Enables John Latham to just get that little bit closer. You can clearly see the difference in lines there. John Latham gets alongside Sandeep and makes it through. Okay, so John will now be looking at chasing down Michael Fulcher. We're on board with Michael Fulcher, looking back at John Latham. Michael Fulcher there sporting the Linux livery. More of a BSD fan myself. But nothing wrong with Linux, certainly better than Windows. Probably shouldn't be making plugs like that though, I think, in a community-based broadcast. slash replay. Anyway, we might go have a look back up at our race leaders. Okay, we're on board with Brad Ryan. We might just go to our normal camera views. Brad Ryan leading Clayton Brooks. Clayton Brooks has clearly made it up into second place. I assume that would be because John Emerson has pitted. Just a reminder, folks, that next week we go to Bathurst, the great Australian track. Just want to remind you, you should be joining us for that race, because I guarantee excitement. If it turns out they have just one server again, that will be one heck of a race. That track most certainly separates the men from the boys when it comes to driver ability. Even some of the best drivers not being able to finish races on that track, let alone finish and drive fast. It is by no means easy. Brad Ryan coming in for his pit stop, followed by Ralden Talva. Jason Black coming in for his pit stop, followed by Dylan Shepherd. John Emerson there, I believe, has already done his pit stop and is already back into 10th position. So once a few more drivers do their pit stops, that will definitely mean that John Emerson moves up the order somewhat. In 9th position, we're looking at Wayne Jaffa in the Cooper's livery, the yellow Cooper's livery, trying to get past. I'm not sure who that is there. That's Simon Black. Simon Black holding his line there. But I guess in the interests of safety, says I'll have another go at that later. Definitely gets a better exit out of the final turn onto the back straight and back sweeper. These guys opting not to do their pit stop just yet. So Simon Black now in 7th position. Simon Black in the FG Falcon with the Fincar Finance livery. Looking at Mark Anderson there of the ZB Racing team. In front of Mark Anderson, we've got Stephen Collins Cooper, ironically sporting the Cooper's Brewery livery. Not sure who that was running wide there. Oh, and we've got an incident where I think it's Craig Jones and Mark Anderson. Oh, Mark Anderson having a coming together there. I certainly hope that wasn't with a lap car. That would not be good. Well, no incident's good, but it's somewhat worse if a leading lap car has an incident with a vehicle that's a lap down. That's sad because Mark Anderson was doing extremely well, has been for some weeks now, moving up the order of things. John Latham in trail of Mark Anderson there. Wayne Jaffa now dueling it out with John Emerson. Wayne Jaffa, another driver that's moving up the order in recent times. John Emerson, long-time fast man. We'll skip further forward. We've got Simon Black there, putting some distance, trying to put some distance between himself and the cars following. Stephen Collins Cooper. Alan Shipaway there, making sure he doesn't get in the way of the lead lap cars. He normally does a pretty good job of that. Alan Shipway, a long-time Oceanic Sim Racing participant. In fourth position, we've got Michael Fabian, trailing Brad Ryan. Jared Filsell out in first place. Will he pit? Yes, he will. Jared Filsell goes in for his pits. Not sure if anyone's going to follow him in there. Might go on board with Mark Anderson, so we can have a look a little close. Oh, hang on, it's put us back on Brad Ryan again. The overlay controls not working the way they normally do. Okay, so we're on board with John Latham there, looking forward at Mark Anderson. Mark Anderson driving for ZB Racing. Looking back at John Latham of Team Tracy Lords with Jason Black in trail. This would have been quite a workout for John Latham, that's for sure. He's had to make his way forward from 45th position all the way up to 9th, which is an absolutely phenomenal effort. But has yet to make his pit stop. Oh, John Latham getting a little bit loose there. In fact, we may even go on board with Jason Black to get a good view of the drama that's unfolding. Okay, John goes wide, which is a shame. You'll no doubt get a slowdown for that. But I'm sure it'll only be a small matter of time before he's back on Jason's tail. John Latham being an extremely fast driver. So we're on board with Jason Black, looking forwards at Mark Anderson, the ZB Racing team. Jason having a look down the inside, not quite got the speed to do it. But Jason Black's line clearly very different for these second gear turns. Gets through. Mark Anderson yields for the sake of safety, no doubt, judging by how wide he went. Okay, we'll go on board with Mark Anderson. Looking back at John Latham. John Latham's going to no doubt have seen Jason Black go through and think to himself, hey, I'd like some of that. also John Latham, in his heart, going to be believing he's quicker than Jason Black, and is. So he's going to want to catch Jason Black as soon as he can and not let him get away. Mark Anderson taking a shallow line there, enabling John Latham to catch up quite a bit quicker. John Latham using every piece of the road available to him. For the sake of safety, Mark allows John Latham through. Quite a smart strategy, really. If there's drivers you believe are quicker, it's no point dueling with them unless you genuinely have a chance of outrunning them or outracing them. Otherwise, your race could end prematurely. Go on board again with Jason Black, looking to get past one of the lap cars, Finlay. Yields. Jason Black probably getting a little nervous there with John Latham. Would like to beat him, but knows he probably doesn't have much chance of that. And coming up to some more lap traffic. Jason yields for the sake of safety to let John Latham through. Mark Anderson follows through there as well. Jason Black probably has been punishing his tyres, so he's going to probably slow for a lap or two to let them cool before resuming normal race pace. Jason Black now in 9th position. John Latham now in 8th position. Just a reminder, folks, that this is this week's event consists of 2 20-lap races. This is the first race of 2. Any drivers who have not pitted in this race must do so in the next race. We're getting close to the finish now. John Latham there, an absolutely phenomenal effort to get all the way up to 8th position from 45th. So that's congratulations there to John Latham, that's for sure. So we are currently on lap 18 of 20. 3 laps to go, including the one we're on. As they cross the line next time, there will be 2 laps to go. Just crossing the start-finish line now. They now have 2 laps to go. So anyway, we leave them and go up to our front runners. Brad Ryan still showing as second for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. Ah, there we go. Clayton Brooks in first place. And Clayton Brooks there coming across the start line. Clayton Brooks comes in first, with Brad Ryan in second, Michael Fabian in third, John Emerson there in fourth. Fifth place to Stephen Collins Cooper, followed by Simon Black. Jason Black comes in ninth and has done his pit stop. Mark Anderson in 10th, followed by Michael Fulcher and Jared Filsell. We've got Dylan Shepherd and Sandeep Banerjee, followed by Zach Baker and Lee Day, Henry King and Michael Yeo, Michael Manley. Oh, it looks like Marty Atkins is having a run there, is he? Okay, folks, we'll just take a short pause while we load up the second race. I'll be right back with you. I'm your host, Jason Black. We'll see you after this break. Welcome, motorsport fans, to the second race of the Oceanic Sim Racing Fincar Series at Interlagos. This is race 2 of 2. All drivers who did not make a pit stop in the first race must make a pit stop in the second race and take on a minimum of 2 tyres. Okay, we'll just quickly read out the starting grid. We've got 44 cars starting in this race, so again a very large grid. Starting on pole position is Clayton Brooks, followed by Brad Ryan, Michael Fabian, John Emerson, Stephen Collins Cooper, Simon Black, Wayne Jaffa, John Latham, Jason Black, Mark Anderson, Michael Fulcher, Jared Filsell, Sandeep Banerjee, Dylan Shepherd, Zach Baker, Lee Day, Henry King, Michael Yeo, Michael Manley, Brett Hender, Gavin Sadler, Richard Hampstead, Mark Melcher. In 24th position, Greg Sharp, Jake Ward, Nils Jordan, Matthew Nethercote, Terry Marwood, Guy Leach, followed by Nick Duncanson, Rick Burt, Adam Stewart, Paul Rudd, Matt Ney, George Fullerton, Anthony Richard, Paul Maguire, Hayley Finlay, Alan Shipaway, Reldon Talva, Trevor Scott, Craig Jones, Richard Byrne and Marty Atkins. Okay, we'll just wait for the drivers to finish gridding up. And this should again be quite an exciting race. They're off to a pretty good clean start there, everybody, by the looks of it. Just looking back, we're on board with Jason Black. I don't mean to be, so my controls are not responding. Jared Filsell there behind. Looks like we've got our data back for this replay, so we'll be able to show you a comparison. Jason Black lost a few positions off the start there. He started in 9th and has gone back to 11th behind Stephen Collins Cooper. And it looks like Jared Filsell has made it past Jason Black as well. Okay, we've got our controls back there now. So far, the majority of drivers off to a relatively clean start. We'll start looking further up the order. So Brad Ryan getting quite a lead straight away, and I believe he's already done his pit stop. So things looking very good for Brad Ryan. Clayton Brooks in second place, followed by John Emerson, Michael Fabian, and John Latham in fifth position. Unfortunately, John Latham still needing to do his pit stop. So Michael Fabian, Clayton Brooks and John Latham and Simon Black, they're all in the battle pack. I think that's Wayne Jaffa there, just behind Simon Black. Yes, it is. Many of these drivers up here still needing to do their pit stops. Lee Day in ninth position. I believe he has done his pit stop, but we'll wait and see. There's Jared Filsell, who has done his pit stop. Jason Black also has done his pit stop in the first race, as we saw. There's Stephen Collins Cooper. Looks like Jared and Jason got past him already. We missed that, I'm sorry. There's Richard Hampstead. On this particular track, Jared Filsell and Jason Black quite evenly matched in terms of pace. So Jason Black wanting to, the very least, stick with Jared, but making quite a mistake there, getting up on the ripple strip. We'll just take a bit of a look through the field now. Looking at Stephen Collins Cooper leading Richard Hampstead there, but no doubt Richard Hampstead will be getting through quite quickly. In fact, we might even just go on board with Richard Hampstead. Okay, on board with Richard Hampstead, who has got past Stephen Collins Cooper now. He's looking at Jason Black, who's not going to want to be losing any time to Jared Filsell. Jason Black clearly unnerved about something, most probably because the hammer is behind him, making some unforced errors. Seemingly has good pace along the straight here. It'll all come down to how well he brakes into turn 1 and 2. And goes a little wide, which is just saying come on by to Richard Hampstead. Stays wide, expecting the hammer to take the inside there. Richard Hampstead opts to keep things safe, saying, I don't trust this guy. Jason Black goes wide, allowing Richard Hampstead to go through. Mark Anderson leading Dylan Shepherd by 1.1 seconds. Dylan Shepherd leading Michael Yao by 2.4 seconds. There's Michael Yao sporting the Fincar livery. Oh, Dylan Shepherd's had an off there, going too wide with Michael Manley. Michael Manley is sporting a Mopar livery. Bit of a strange one, I guess, to have on a Ford Falcon, but I'm not going to complain because I'm a bit of a Mopar fan myself. Currently looking at Matthew Nethercote there, who's got some damage on his nose. He's got a bit of a broken nose there by the looks of it. He's leading Henry King. Henry King leads George Fullerton by 5 seconds. Looking at Haley Finley there. Got no data on that car, leading Mark Melcher. Whoa, I'm not sure what happened there. I think someone may have put some grease on the road. So we're looking at George Fullerton there, who leads Jake Ward by 2.4 seconds. Jake Ward there looking to get past Haley. Quite a train forming there. Haley yields for the cars that are a lap up. Guy Leach with all kinds of damage to the front and back of the car. I'm not sure how that car's even drivable. Craig Jones there in 21st position, leads Nick Duncanson by 2 seconds. There's Nick Duncanson with Haley behind him. Okay, there's Terry Marwood leading Simon Black. Simon Black quite possibly having some kind of a problem there that's put him further back down the order. Could be that Simon Black's just done his pit stop though too, I suppose. Simon Black gets past Terry Marwood. There's Rick Burt leading Mills Jordan by 0.6 of a second. Followed by Adam Stewart. Stephen Collins Cooper, who I'm sure was right up the front just not so long ago, way back in 27th position. There's Trevor Scott leading Richard Byrne. Richard Byrne leads Paul Maguire. Paul Maguire, having done very little practice on this track, and also a self-confessed hater of Interlagos, not having a good race at all. So our condolences to you, Paul. But most certainly practice makes perfect. There's Ralden Talva, who at times has shown some reasonably good pace. Seemingly a little bit off the pace. There's Zach Baker, followed by Michael Fulcher in 33rd and 34th positions respectively. Greg Sharp close in trail behind him. 2 seconds behind Greg Sharp is Anthony Richards. That's Anthony Richards there, followed by Brett Hender and Alan Shipway. I'm sure the spelling of that name is actually changed. My apologies if it hasn't, but I was sure it was Shipaway. Now it's Shipway. But okay, yep, no problem. It's probably my mistake there, and unimportant. Paul Rudd having all kinds of problems with his Gloria Jean's Coffee FG Falcon, with Matt Nade in 40th, followed by Hayley Finley in 41st. So anyway, we're back up with the leaders now. Brad Ryan in first place leads John Emerson by 4/10 of a second. These two seem to be going close at it. Not sure if John Emerson's done his pit stop yet or not. I would hazard a guess and say that he has. We'll stick with these guys for a short while just to see how they go and if any action unfolds. I've always admired the TTL paint job. Quite a strong team, Team Tracy Lords. Strange name for a racing car team, but an old name. Most people probably don't know. I certainly didn't. That team has been around for a very long time in simulator racing. But I absolutely adore their paint job. It reminds me of the girl that you quite often see on the side of trucks, semi-trailers. Okay, the guy's just going past some lap traffic there. Brad Ryan leading John Emerson, but unable to actually extend that lead by too much. Oh, he's just got 1 or 2 tenths on John Emerson just now, as I said that. John Emerson most certainly going to want to not let Brad Ryan get too far ahead. While this track doesn't provide the strongest of drafts, there is some draft here. In fact, there seems to be definitely some kind of a side draft available. You've got Michael Fabian there in 3rd place by the looks of it. And just have a little look. Yes, that's Michael Fabian, followed by some lap cars. Lee Day there in 5th, followed by Richard Hampstead in 6th position. Clayton Brooks in 7th, going a little wide into turn 2. Followed by Jared Filsell in 8th position. Jason Black there in 9th, followed by Wayne Jaffa in 10th. To break the draft of Wayne Jaffa. I imagine Jason Black's tyres are quite overheated, so he needs to get all the help he can to take the pressure off, to give him time to cool those tyres down. You can see a little bit of drift in the apex there. That's a sure sign that the tyres are not gripping quite as well as they could. Jason Black now extending his lead over Wayne Jaffa a little more now. Gap is at 5/6 of a second. Currently watching Jared Filsell, who has a 1.1 second lead over Jason Black. Lap car there, quite possibly momentarily holding up Jared Filsell. But on a grid so large, it's to be expected that there'll be some issues with lap traffic. Jared Filsell now able to extend his lead out to 1.3 seconds. Jason Black going to definitely want to do something about that, and Jared Filsell definitely going to want to keep it. Jason Black now extended his lead a little more over Wayne Jaffa out to 0.8 of a second. Jason Black normally quite quick through turn 1s and 2. Brings that lead out to just almost right on 1 second now. Jason Black's tyres cooling, so he'll be able to pick up the pace a little more now. Jared Filsell still holding his lead. In fact, he's extended that out now to 1.7 seconds, up from 1.3 seconds. Jason Black now extending his lead out to 1.2 seconds over Wayne Jaffa. Jared Filsell seems to have lost a little bit of ground to Jason Black, not much, about 0.4 of a second. And I can tell you that racing on this track is a steady, is a matter of not putting too much overdrive into your race so that you don't overheat your tyres. You've got to definitely keep your tyre temperatures under control. Coming up to some lap traffic now. Jared Filsell has no problem getting by. 1.3 seconds the gap to Jason Black, extending right out now to 1.7 seconds. This could hurt Jason Black if he can't get past the lap car soon. Jason Black roughly lost about 1/10 of a second there, which is not too bad. Looks like Jared Filsell may have had some difficulty there too. Jason Black now extended his lead to 2.2 seconds over Wayne Jaffa. Looks like John Latham just finishing his pit stop there. Looks like we may have lost Wayne Jaffa. I'm not sure what's happened there. Oh no, Wayne Jaffa's just done his pit stop, okay. Comes out in front of Michael Manley. Simon Black right there behind the two. Simon Black of the Oceanic Sim Racing Series and one of the organisers of this event, who do a fantastic job for the iRacing V8 Supercar community. Michael Manley getting a little loose there, no doubt in anticipation of Simon Black being behind him. I'd expect Stephen Collins Cooper to extend his lead over that group very soon, now that he's got fresh, or quite possibly fresh rear tyres, or even possibly all four tyres fresh. Further back, we've got Paul Rudd there in 34th position, leading Matt Nade in 35th. Looking at Craig Jones there in 17th position, leading Guy Leach by 0.5 of a second. Guy Leach again with some considerable damage there at the front and rear of his vehicle. In 19th position, we've got Jake Royal. We've got quite a group accumulating there. Okay, it's just a bit of lap traffic. Mark Anderson there in 21st position with Nick Duncanson some 5 seconds back. Nick Duncanson leads Adam Stewart by 11 seconds. There's Rick Bird in 35th position. Looks like Richard Hampstead's had some problems and has dropped out. There's Adam Stewart in 23rd, leading Zach Baker by around 2 seconds. Zach Baker leading Michael Fulcher by a little under a second. Michael Fulcher leads Greg Sharp by 6 seconds. Greg Sharp leads Richard Byrne by 14 seconds. Looks like Greg Sharp there with a bit of damage. So we're back up with our leaders now. Brad Ryan still in the lead with John Emerson with a 0.5 second gap. They've just gone past lap car Richard Byrne. Michael Fabian there in 3rd position, leads Lee Day by 6.5 seconds. There's Trevor Scott leading Hayley Finlay by 2.7 seconds. And that's Lee Day there in 4th. So we're looking at over a lap difference between those two cars. There's Hayley Finlay in 37th position, leading Ralden Talbot by 39 seconds. Nils Jordan looking to get past Hayley, no doubt. Jared Filsell there in 5th position, leads Jason Black by 1.8 seconds now. And Jason Black in 6th leads Matthew Nethercote by 7.2 seconds. Okay, so Jared Filsell goes for the overtake of Nils Jordan. So there's quite a bit of lap traffic to get through there now. Jason Black getting held up a little, I guess. But it looks like so did Jared Filsell. I should point out that it's just as tough for the cars that are a lap or more down to get out of the way without losing position as it is for the cars that are a lap up or laps up to get past without losing position. So there we go through some more lap traffic there. And it looks like we've had someone turned around. It's Trevor Scott, unfortunately. Jason Black closing the gap to around 1.1 seconds now. No easy task for Jason Black to catch Jared Filsell. Jared Filsell is an extremely quick driver. Filsell now out to almost 2 seconds the gap. Quite possibly Jason Black's thrown in the towel, with his tyres being overheated. Has just thought, well, I'll just make sure I finish this race. It's unlikely I'll be able to catch and pass Jared Filsell, so safety first. It's not the kind of race that Jared's likely to run out of fuel or anything. Go back up with our leaders. We've got John Emerson and Brad Ryan there fighting for first and second position. Still only a 0.5 of a second gap. That basically hasn't changed all race long. Only a few laps to go. There's Michael Fabian in 3rd place, leads Lee Day by 8.7 seconds. Lee Day in 4th leads Jared Filsell by around 3 seconds. Yes, definitely looks like Jason Black's given up on the chase of Jared Filsell. Anthony Richards gets out of the way quite well for Jared Filsell. Have a look at Matthew Nethercote there. Got a bit of damage. Leads John Latham by around 2 seconds. Nils Jordan there in one of the lap cars. There's no doubt going to get out the way for John Emerson quite soon. John Emerson leads Clayton Brooks by around 10 seconds. Clayton Brooks leads Henry King. And Henry King leads Gavin Sadler. Gavin Sadler leads Michael Yeo. Wayne Jaffa there leading Simon Black. Simon Black leading Mark Anderson by 12 seconds. Mark Anderson leads Guy Leach. Guy Leach leading Stephen Collins Cooper. There's Craig Jones leading Jake Ward. And Jake Ward leading Michael Manley. Okay, so coming in first place is Brad Ryan, followed by John Emerson, Michael Fabian. In fourth place, Lee Day. Fifth, Jared Filsell. Sixth place, Jason Black. Seventh, Matthew Nethercote. Coming home in 8th place is John Latham, followed by Clayton Brooks. In 10th, Henry King. 11th place goes to Gavin Sadler. 12th to Michael Yao. 13th to Wayne Jaffa, 14th to Simon Black, 15th place goes to Mark Anderson, 6th place goes to Guy Leach, followed by Stephen Collins Cooper, 18th place goes to Craig Jones, followed by 19th place being Jake Ward. In 20th position is Michael Manley, followed by Nick Duncanson in 21st. Zach Baker comes home in 22nd, followed by Adam Stewart in 23rd position. In 24th position is Greg Sharp, followed by George Fullerton, Michael Fulcher, Nils Jordan and Terry Marwood. In 29th position we have Paul Rudd, followed by Alan Shipway. In 31st position, Paul Maguire, followed by Rick Burt and Matt Nade. In 34th position is Anthony Richards. In 35th, Hayley Finlay, followed in 36th position, Trevor Scott. 37th goes to Ralden Talva. In 38th position, we have Richard Byrne, followed by Richard Hampstead in 39th. 40th goes to Brett Hender. 41st position to Sandeep Banerjee. 42nd position goes to Dylan Shepherd, followed by Mark Melcher in 43rd position. Okay, that's the end of the Oceanic Sim Racing weekly series at Interlagos. Sorry, I was nearly going to say Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace, which currently is its former name. The right name now is Interlagos. I hope I haven't got that back to front. Anyway, I'm your host, Jason Black, and I'll be with you next week as we go to Mount Panorama Bathurst, and we will see who is king of the mountain. I hope you enjoyed this race, and we'll see you again soon.